I finally finished my diet. I look really nice and lean, but now it's time to add some mass and muscle. Bro Science Steve, what should I do? Well, if you want to put on muscle quickly, just eat as many calories as possible. Whatever you can find, just eat it, bro. Really? But won't I gain a lot of fat in the process? Don't do it, Mikey. What you need to do is called a reverse diet. Reverse diet? What's that? I'm glad you asked. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what a reverse diet is and how to do it without gaining fat. So you ready? We out. What's going on? It's your boy, Louis Ha Fa Sho. You know how we do. So you finally reached your goal and finished your diet. Or you've been dieting for such a long time and now you need to fix your metabolism. Whichever one you fall under, I recommend doing something called a reverse diet. I know when people hear that they need to add calories back into their diet after dieting for so long, they will start to freak out knowing that they might gain some weight back after all the hard work getting it off. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to correctly do a reverse diet while avoiding gaining weight. So you ready? Let's go. I too understand where you're coming from. After I diet and start my reverse diet, the last thing I want to do is lose all my hard-earned work. And this is why I'm here to help. However, I need to keep it real with you. I can't promise you that you won't gain some weight. I mean, most people do. But it is at least possible to minimize it. Also, why are you reverse dieting? Did you just finish your diet and want to get back into adding more muscle mass? Or are you trying to fix your metabolism after being in a caloric deficit for way too long? It doesn't matter which one you are. I got you covered. So if you want to avoid gaining as much weight as possible, first we have to consider how slow we want to increase our calories and how much cardio you want to reduce so you are less likely to gain weight. We want to get your body to start getting used to having more calories, because if you're super low in calories and suddenly you start to increase your calories by a lot, your body's going to have a hard time keeping up with the sudden increase. But let's say if you slowly increase your calories, let's say from 20 to 50 calories a week, your body will have a much easier time keeping up and won't know the difference. But if you make drastic jumps, let's say 200, 300, even 500 calories, your body won't be able to keep up as well. Oh, what's going on? Tell my wife, I love her. However, there are pros and cons to both. If you want to take the slow approach, like I mentioned, it's going to take a lot longer to increase your calories. And that's why I asked earlier what your reason was to do a reverse diet. If you just finished your diet and want to get back to maintenance or even start your bulk, it would be better to take your time. But even then because it takes longer, that means you will still just be as hungry, tired, cranky all the time. But if you do the opposite and increase your calories faster, you won't feel as hungry, tired, or cranky anymore. However, you will more than likely gain a little bit of weight. Also, you need to ask yourself, what are your goals in the future? Are you happy with your current physique? You want to maintain what you have but eat more? Then I suggest going the slower route. Or do you want to start adding more muscle and going into a bulk? I recommend not wasting any time and getting those calories up faster, even though you may gain a little bit of weight. Sorry playa, that's the name of the game. So that's how you should do a reverse diet after you finish your cut. Now let's talk about how to reverse diet after you've been in a diet for so long that now you need to fix your metabolism. You might want to take the moderate approach and increase your calories from 50 to 100 calories per week. This is when we aren't really worried about a little bit of weight gain, because this is only a temporary situation. Because your goal, once you fix your metabolism, you will be able to lose it later and more. With all these approaches, we are still tracking, whether it's increasing your calories slow from 20 calories or high to 3, 4, even 500 calories. This does not mean that it's a free-for-all and you can go crazy and eat whatever you want, because that is when you will gain a bunch of unnecessary weight. But you should be fine with gaining a little bit of weight while increasing your calories. Got it. So be okay with a little bit of weight gain. How about my training? Should I train more? Less? The same? You should definitely stay on top of your training. Some people think because they aren't dieting anymore and their abs might not be as visible during a reverse diet, that they can start slacking off their training, maybe skipping a few days. It doesn't matter if you're trying to cut for summer or bulk and try to get muscle during winter. Your training intensity should always be the same. Oh, okay, I see. Hey, what about my cardio? When I was on my diet, I was doing a lot of cardio. Should I stop? Even though you're adding more calories to your reverse diet, it doesn't mean to stop doing cardio. If you're doing 45 minutes to an hour of cardio 6 or 7 times a week, and all of a sudden you do nothing, your body was so used to burning those extra calories, and since you stopped, you will start to add weight more quickly because not only are you adding more calories, but you aren't burning as much because you stopped doing cardio, if that makes sense. I mean, I do understand since you're not dieting anymore, doing an hour of cardio a day can be pretty draining. So I recommend you back off slowly, but not completely. Same thing as I mentioned when slowly adding back in your calories, we want to do the same with our cardio and slowly decrease the time. I do recommend doing some sort of cardio and not going all the way back down to doing nothing because there are some health benefits that come along with it. So my recommendation would just get back to a time where you can sustain and not feel like it's a drag when you do it. So that's for getting back into a maintenance or a bulk. What if I've been dieting for so long that my metabolism is messed up and I need to fix it? What should I do? In this case, it would probably be best if you did as little cardio as possible because we want to get in as much calories as possible. However, like I said, that doesn't mean you should cut it out completely as well. Like I mentioned, we still want to do some for those health benefits.
Sure, cardio sucks. Also, it doesn't matter what you eat. At the end of the day, calories is calories.
Wrong. If we want to minimize fat as much as possible, the best way to do so is by adding more protein. My goal is to eat at least 1 gram of protein per body weight. So if you're currently eating less than that, definitely focus on adding in more protein first. Keeping your protein high can help minimize weight gain. The only downfall is if you increase your calories through protein, you might get a bit full faster, which may not be the best since you're trying to increase your calories. But if you want to increase your calories through carbs and fats, that's fine too. Since I already eat a little over 1 gram of protein per body weight, I like to increase my carbs, but I believe it's up to the individual which one they want to increase. Because I personally don't feel like there's a huge difference. In fact, you can probably switch them around and see which one you like more, as long as the calories are the same at the end of the day. One thing I did in the past was called a dirty bulk. That means I try to eat as much calories as possible. I was basically a garbage disposal and gained a lot of weight fairly quickly. And however, most of that was fat. And if you're someone that's trying to fix your metabolism, eating high calories doesn't mean you'll be able to eat high calories when you're dieting as well. You might have to be as aggressive now with your diet once you fix it, but at least now your body will respond better, whereas it didn't before. And the goal isn't to get our calories as high as possible, but it's to get out of being in a deficit since you were in one for such a long time. Is it possible if I do everything I can in a reverse diet and not gain any weight? It will be very tough, but it's not impossible if you stick with the plan and be consistent. Every time I do a reverse diet, I try not to have a cheat day, and I still try to track as closely as possible. That means still getting in all your workouts and training with the same intensity, still hitting your macros to a T, and keeping it up with your cardio. Basically the same thing you were doing when you were cutting weight. You want to be as strict as possible. However, there were times in the past when I told myself I was going to gain some weight and I should just accept fate. So who cares about tracking anymore? Who cares about doing my cardio? It's so boring. Let me just eat whatever I want as long as I train, and if I get fat, then I'll get fat. I'll just lose it later. But me having that mindset, this is how I gain a bunch of excess fat really fast. With the reverse diet, there are a bunch of great benefits besides just eating more. Your metabolism starts to pick up again. Your hormones start to improve. You will start getting better sleep and more energy. If you are strict on your reverse diet, I've even seen some people lose weight as they increase their calories. I believe the reverse diet is sometimes actually harder than the actual diet itself, because as you increase your calories, it's sending signals to your body that it wants more calories. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, to try to fight back and be as strict as possible while increasing your calories. The last thing I want to mention is if you see a little bit of weight gain during the beginning of your reverse diet, to not freak out. It's more than likely just your body replenishing its glycogen since you've been depleted of it for so long. And with that, you will also store water with it. So just remember, when you step on a scale and you see it go up, it doesn't mean that it's fat that you gained. I know the goal of this video is how to reverse diet without gaining any bit of fat. However, I do feel like even if you gain a little bit, just be okay with it. Remember, we're taking 1 step back, but we're setting ourselves up to take 2 steps forward. Lots of people think gaining any kind of weight is bad and that they messed up somehow, but that's just not true. We always want to be the lowest weight possible, but just know that this isn't sustainable. We have to think about the big picture and our goals and not get caught up with the small things. So that's all I have for today. Hope this was helpful. Online coaching will be available soon. I also have another YouTube channel if you're interested. We talk more about mindset, creating better habits, discipline, and achieving your goals outside of fitness. So if that sounds good to you, head on over to Louis Ha Fa Sho. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And oh yeah, don't forget to bring the shreds, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.